trusted news source, ABC6 News at noon.
Breaking news this hour. Time is up for Correa, the former mayor of Fall River, ordered to report to jail by noon today. ABC6 News reporter Olivia DeRocha is live in the newsroom with the latest. Olivia.
Doreen, good afternoon. Well, according to the Federal Bureau of Prison portal that keeps tabs on these inmates, it says Correa is still not in custody, but keep in mind his self-surrender deadline was noon, so that portal just might not be updated yet. Now, Correa's prison date has been pushed back 7 times since his original date to go behind bars back in December. Those delays for a variety of reasons like COVID and for helping his family run their restaurant during the holidays. Now today, Correa will start serving his 6-year sentence at FCI Berlin. That's an all-male prison with just under 800 inmates. It's located in New Hampshire, about 4 hours north of Fall River. Yesterday, we spoke with the current mayor of Fall River, Paul Coogan, about what this day means to the people of that city.
With all the continuances that went on for so long, I think people are tired of it. They'd rather just put this chapter behind them and let's move on to something better for the city of Fall River. He's had his day in court. I, of course, feel sorry for the family and everybody that had to be involved with this, but it's maybe time for him to face the consequences.
Now, you may remember it was back in September when the former mayor was sentenced to 6 years in prison after being found guilty of multiple federal charges for taking hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes from marijuana businesses that wanted to operate in the city and for defrauding investors in his app called Snow Owl. Now, Correa's attorney has filed an appeal, which is still pending. Correa is set to be released from prison when he is 36 years old if he serves that entire 6-year sentence. After that, 3 years of supervised release. Now, to this day, the former mayor has maintained his innocence. For now, live in the newsroom, I'm Olivia DeRocha, ABC6 News.
All right, Olivia, thank you. And now to the weather on this absolutely beautiful Friday afternoon. We take a live look outside. You see the sun shining, no clouds even in this shot here. Chelsea's in the Weather Center. She has our first forecast. Hi, Chelsea.
Hey, Doreen. Yeah, perfect sunshine outside today, and those temperatures are warmer than we've been all week long. The last time we were this warm was this past Saturday, so almost a full week before we've seen temperatures in the mid to upper 60s range. Breeze is coming in out of the northwest. It is a bit gusty outside today, but again, plenty of sunshine, and that continues for the afternoon. Significantly warmer than yesterday at this time. Most areas besides our areas farthest inland running about 10 degrees warmer, if not 15 degrees warmer down in the westerly area compared to yesterday at this time. Again, perfect sunshine. Not much to talk about on the satellite radar image. A few clouds up in northern New England, but for us, we're going to stay mainly sunny and a bit breezy through the remainder of the afternoon with those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. This evening will be clear. Breeze continues out of the north, which means we'll be a bit cooler by early tomorrow morning. The weekend is kind of split in half. I'll have much more on that in just a few minutes. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. New at noon today, Providence Fire crews on scene this morning of a house fire on Hillcrest Ave. One side of the house badly burned. About 13 people who live there are now displaced. Everyone did make it out safely, though. Several birds were rescued from the home. Investigators are now looking into the cause. It's sentencing day for a man convicted in a 2017 New Bedford murder. 25-year-old David Antonetti Almestica was convicted of second-degree murder last week. He was charged with killing Angel Camacho at a drug deal gone bad in October of 2017. It happened in an apartment on Tallman Street. The DA's office says the two men met up for a cocaine deal, but after Camacho complained about the price, Almestica stabbed him in the chest and threw him down the stairs. Almestica then handed out cocaine to witnesses, asking for their silence. And a Fall River man accused of driving drunk in Rehoboth is due in court today. Rehoboth police arrested 34-year-old Jordan Correa after someone reported he was driving erratically on Route 44. This was about 3:30 in the afternoon. Rehoboth police say the chief stopped Correa and noticed signs of intoxication, and after a roadside investigation, he was arrested for a second OUI offense. He's scheduled to appear in Taunton District Court. And a man indicted on arson charges expected to be arraigned today. Carlos Figueroa Ortiz charged with first-degree arson in connection to a June fire in Warwick. It happened on Evergreen Ave. Firefighters found a single-family home engulfed in flames there. It was later deemed a total loss. Everyone made it out safely. Figueroa Ortiz was said to live at that home. In political news today, a new push for green housing. A bill introduced to the Rhode Island House will use cryptocurrency as a credit to property owners. The legislation introduced by Pawtucket Representative Carlos Tabone will establish a green housing fund using $500 million from Rhode Island banks and $125 million in ARPA funds. The money will be used to support housing projects that meet specific renewable and energy-reducing standards. Homeowners and investors that build or purchase these properties will be given credits in the form of cryptocurrency equal to the amount the property reduces in utility expenses. And now to the latest on the coronavirus today. Boston health officials are urging people to wear masks indoors again, especially in crowded situations. The Boston Public Health Commission says the city is seeing an increase in COVID cases and released these new precautions. The commission also encouraged people to get tested and stay up to date on vaccinations. And a reminder that Providence Public Schools will all return to class Monday after April break. There will not be a staggered return from this vacation week. The schools distributed test kits to those interested before the break, and the district says all students with consent forms will be tested on Monday. After previous vacations, Providence had students and teachers return in shifts. It's Earth Day today, and there are many events planned to mark the day. Governor McKee and the First Lady will spend the afternoon at a cleanup event in East Providence, along with other state officials. He's also kicking off the Keep Rhodey Litter Free campaign, which aims to encourage groups to eliminate litter. That event is at the Route 44 Park and Ride in East Providence. And in Fall River, Earth Day celebrations include Mayor Paul Coogan leading a cleanup effort downtown. 4th District Congressman Jake Auchincloss will be on hand. The mayor will kick off the cleanup effort at 1 o'clock in front of City Hall. He'll also present downtown beautification projects that the city is working on. In Central Falls, the American Red Cross is promoting fire safety today. The Red Cross and Mayor Maria Rivera will be on hand at Veterans Memorial Park on Hunt Street between 3 and 6 this afternoon. Residents can stop by and sign up for free smoke alarm installation and training and how to deal with emergencies. The mayor says the number of house fires in the city over the last year spurred her to get residents better prepared. And a cruise ship is coming to Newport for the first time in 2 years. The Ocean Voyager will bring more than 90 tourists to the area today. A total of 50 cruise ships are expected to come into Newport through the end of October, bringing with them roughly 150,000 tourists. Still ahead, no comment still from Rep. McCarthy about a new recording just days after the Capitol riot. We'll have the latest from Washington. Plus, new atrocities discovered in Ukraine as the situation there grows more desperate. And later, production shut down on the set of the latest Bill Murray movie over accusations of misconduct. Back now with a look at national headlines and that bombshell recording of House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy days after the January 6th Capitol riot, saying he was planning to urge President Trump to resign. No comment from him so far. ABC's Justin Finch has more.
The sounds of silence coming from House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy of California after audio was released as part of a new book from New York Times reporters Jonathan Martin and Alexander Burns, where McCarthy tells fellow Republicans he has had it with President Trump and planned to urge him to resign. Previously, McCarthy and a spokesperson denied the claim, McCarthy saying the reporting was false and wrong. But now the Times reporters have released audio of an alleged exchange reportedly from a January 10th call hosted by Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who is now vice chair of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attacks.
Are you hearing that he might resign? Is there any reason to think that might happen?
I've had some few discussions. My gut tells me no. I'm seriously thinking of having that conversation with him tonight. I haven't talked to him in a couple days. From what I know of him, I mean, you guys all know him too. Do you think he'd ever back away?
Cheney's spokeswoman denies that she recorded the conversation or that she leaked the audio and does not know how reporters got it. The audio later revealing McCarthy's concerns Trump would face impeachment and perhaps removal from office by the Senate.
The only discussion I would have with him is that I think this will pass, and it would be my recommendation we should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it, but I don't know.
Then a public pivot, the congressman seen visiting Mar-a-Lago just 3 weeks after January 6th. McCarthy was asked to cooperate with the January 6th committee, but refused. That committee now prepping to question Donald Trump Jr., believed to be among their final interviews as they prepare for public hearings. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Well, coming up, new images from Ukraine appear to show mass graves. The latest on the crisis there when we come back. Back now with more on the crisis in Ukraine and a horrifying image captured by satellite cameras in Ukraine. The video, analyzed by U.S. company Maxar Technologies, appears to show more than 200 graves just outside the city of Mariupol. Russian soldiers are accused of dumping the bodies of countless women, children, and men in ditches to cover their crimes. The Russians are denying targeting any civilians. The U.S. just sent another $800 million in military aid to the country. Meantime, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is one of 5 recipients of the John F. Kennedy Profile in Courage Award. The JFK Library Foundation saying Zelensky was picked because he has marshaled the spirit, patriotism, and untiring sacrifice of the Ukrainian people in a life-or-death fight for their country. The award honors public figures who risk their careers by embracing unpopular positions for the greater good. The awards will be presented on May 22nd in Boston. And now to developing news involving actor Bill Murray and the on-set complaint against the comedian, forcing the studio to suspend production of his new movie. ABC's TJ Holmes has more.
It's a harmless squirrel, not a plastic explosive or anything, nothing to be worried about.
Comedy legend Bill Murray, accused of inappropriate behavior on the set of his latest film, a complaint that has now forced the studio to shut down production.
I'm just trying to give you your money's worth. You paid top dollar for it.
The film, Being Mortal, is the directorial debut of comedian Aziz Ansari and co-star Seth Rogen. Searchlight Pictures, the company behind Being Mortal, which is owned by ABC News parent company Disney, has not responded to our request for comment, and it's not publicly known what Murray is exactly accused of. But Deadline is reporting that the complaint against the actor was filed last week, with production shutting down on Monday. Over the years, there have been several reports of other incidents involving Murray and his co-stars.
Oh my God. I really appreciate this.
From allegedly getting into a verbal and physical altercation with Richard Dreyfuss during production of the comedy What About Bob?
He was an Irish drunken bully, is what he was.
I've really enjoyed working on this assignment.
To hurling insults at Lucy Liu on the set of Charlie's Angels. Insults Liu described as unacceptable and inexcusable, though the two later reconciled. In a 2009 interview, Murray has said he will, quote, dismiss you completely if you are unprofessional and working with me. ABC News has reached out to Murray and has not heard back. Now filmmakers are reportedly seeing if there is any way to move forward with a film that is nearly half complete. TJ Holmes, ABC News, New York.
And now, your ABC6 Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Chelsea Priest.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better April day out there. We're seeing sunshine, we're seeing dry weather, we're seeing mild temperatures. It's been relatively cool this week in terms of speaking of average temperatures. We've been running a few degrees below average. We haven't quite made it into the mid to upper 60s like we saw almost all of last week. We were spoiled last week. We talked about it all week long. Today, though, we're back into that sunshine. We're back into those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. You don't even need the light jacket outside today because it is so nice out there. 67 degrees in Providence, 64 in Newport, 67 in Westerly. So even at the coastline, those temperatures are well above average and well above where we were yesterday at this time, about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. At the moment, we're looking at an average high of 62 degrees. We've been hovering just below that for most of this week. And after today, we are back into that low 60s range for tomorrow and even cooler on Sunday. So hopefully you can get outside and enjoy the sunshine and the mild temperatures today. The one thing we're dealing with is this bit of a breeze. It's a breezy time of year. We're talking about winds coming in out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour with some gusts coming in 20 to 25 miles per hour. That breeze will continue as we head through the afternoon and overnight. With clear conditions and a light breeze from the northwest, temperatures do drop down to the upper 30s and low 40s by early tomorrow morning. It'll be a cooler start to the day after mild temperatures this morning. But mid to upper 60s outside this afternoon. Again, back down to the low 60s tomorrow. Cooler on Sunday. Temps will be in the mid 50s range. Then we are in that upper 50s rather, to low 60s range for the start of next week. Our next chance of some steadier rain comes through probably late Tuesday overnight and into Wednesday. Beyond that, beyond this 6-day outlook, it does look like some cool temperatures settle in for our last few days of April. Satellite radar image right now shows you dry, quiet conditions, sunshine outside, just that breeze coming through after a cold front crossed through the area overnight. You can see those clouds pushing offshore. A few of us woke up to some clouds this morning. Otherwise, dry conditions for the rest of the day today, clear tonight. Sunny for most of the day tomorrow before we start to track some clouds moving in ahead of our next system approaching from the west as we head into Sunday. Once again, most of the rain with that one fizzles up before it gets here. Clear as we head through your evening hours. We're dry overnight. We wake up tomorrow morning with sunshine. Tomorrow afternoon is mainly sunny. Some clouds start to roll in. Into the evening hours, We're looking at mostly cloudy conditions. And again, there's rain off to our west. Most of it kind of fizzles out. Sunday morning, a lot of clouds around, perhaps a few little sprinkles coming through. Otherwise, just a mostly cloudy day before we get brighter as we head into Monday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s today. Mostly sunny. Breeze out of the northwest, some gusts around 30 miles per hour. Tonight is clear and cool. We're at about 40 degrees. That's in the Providence area. Outside of the city will be a bit cooler. We head into tomorrow. Sunny, seasonable, low 60s is exactly where we should be for this time of year, with a little less wind. Clouds increase Saturday night into Sunday. Again, a few sprinkles out there. Otherwise, a mix of some sun and clouds, cooler temps. Low 60s into the start of next week. Good chance of rain Tuesday into Wednesday. Cooler to close out April. Doreen?
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Still to come. If you have an air fryer, listen up. We have an important recall to pass along. And a membership program for Lululemon, what it buys you with the popular brand. Welcome back. In today's consumer news, Best Buy is recalling Insignia air fryers and air fryer ovens over safety issues. The company says some of the fryers can overheat and pose a potential fire hazard. Best Buy says it's received nearly 100 reports of the fryers and ovens catching fire in the U.S. and Canada. Customers are advised to stop using these products and to return them to Best Buy for a refund. Uber is kicking off Earth Day by permanently dropping the surcharge on its environmentally friendly cars. Riders who request an Uber Green hybrid or electric vehicle will no longer pay an extra $1. And for the next week, there's actually a $1 discount for going green with Uber cars, e-bikes, and e-scooters. Athletic wear company Lululemon is looking to lock in more of its customers with new membership plans. A free tier would give members early access to new products. Another, priced at $40 a month, would offer more perks like in-person events and online exercise classes. The membership plan's set to launch later this year. BTS is coming to Apple Fitness Plus. The K-pop band's music and choreography are the basis of new dance workouts in the Apple service. They're part of Apple's Artist Spotlight series. They launch next week. In addition to BTS, the sessions also feature ABBA and Queen. Well, coming up, nacho average weight loss, how Taco Bell motivated one man to lose over 100 pounds. Plus, Chelsea has another look at that afternoon forecast right after this. Finally this afternoon, a California man's love for Taco Bell fueling his weight loss journey. It's not what you're thinking, though. Chris Sandberg vowed to exercise every day until Taco Bell brought back his favorite dish, the grilled stuffed taco. Documenting it all on TikTok, Sandberg has lost almost 100 pounds. Still, no grilled stuffed nacho on the menu, but Taco Bell did make an order just for him. But it's funny how it motivated him, and then here he is. Right. He's lost 100 pounds.
You hear the story how Taco Bell's helping somebody lose weight. Wait, what?
What? Really?
Really?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, motivation.
Okay.
Whatever works, whatever works. We are looking at a gorgeous day out there today. A nice day. Maybe you can go out and get some exercise if you're...
Or Taco Bell.
Or Taco Bell. Either or. Whatever floats your boat. It is a little bit breezy outside today. Tomorrow is sunny and seasonable. Temperatures in the low 60s, so a few degrees cooler than today. And then Sunday a bit cooler. Saturday certainly the better of the 2 weekend days. More clouds on Sunday. Temperatures are a bit cooler in the mid 50s, and there may be a few little spotty sprinkles out there. Into next week, we hover around 60 degrees. It looks like the later part of next week is actually a bit cooler. So next Friday, beyond the 7-day, not quite as nice as today and last Friday.
Okay, so get out there
Yes.
and enjoy this day while
Exactly.
we've got it. Is what you're saying. Thanks,
Yes.
Chels. And thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues, first and 4. Have a great day, everybody.